Today we're going to be going over your comments. It's all about you. If this interests you, stick around and let's get into it. Hi, I'm Veronica and welcome to the Wholeness Shift. If this is your first time here, welcome. I talk about easy, practical spirituality. I help you navigate your spiritual awakening. We talk about all kinds of cool stuff over here. Aliens and dreams, law of attraction, all of the cool stuff. So if this interests you, hit the subscribe button below because I wouldn't want you to miss out on anything good. And you guys, if we haven't, I'm sure by the time this thing uploads, we will have hit 20,000 subscribers. We'll probably hit tonight or definitely tomorrow. Today's Thursday. No. Gosh, I can't even get my days of the week straight. Today's Wednesday. So, yay! I'm sure that I will post another video specifically about that. But, you guys, we're building such a cool community. And the fact that every subscriber that comes in, every beautiful person that joins us here, that just tells me it's symbolic to me of how many people are waking up, how many people are looking for this information. And so it's very exciting to me to know that we are changing the world for the better. So thank you for all that you do. So today I decided that we are just going to go over a few comments from you guys. Some of them are ones that I get over and over, and some of them are just random, but I thought if I'm answering for one, maybe all of you would be interested, right? When I'm looking in this monitor, all I can see is myself in like 1990. I wish I had a picture. My hair wasn't naturally curly like it is now back then, but I did have a massive perm. I mean, we were just coming out of the 80s. It was 1990, and so I had a perm. The top of my hair was higher, but anyways, I had a sweater that was almost like this, and I had forgotten all about it, but it was like the same color. I had the same, well, not the same gold necklace, but I had a gold necklace on, my curly hair, my dark lips, and I just looked in the mirror, in the monitor a few minutes ago, and I got the biggest deja vu. I was just like, whoa. Flashback. Hashtag 1990. Okay, I do not have this scripted. I have no idea what I'm going to say. As the comments came in, and I'm like, oh, this would be a good one to keep, I screenshotted them, most of them. Some of them I just wrote the question down, and then I thought I better screenshot them. So some of them I have screenshots, some of them I just have the question, but I don't even remember what they are. So, Lord help us. Let's hope this goes well. I better put my glasses on, though, for sure, because I can't even see my phone, so I can see now. This one is funny. This wasn't a serious comment for me. It was just funny, but I thought it would be funny to throw in here because I have a story that goes with it. Okay, so someone said, your skin looks so soft, which first of all, thank you. Nail painting emoji, right? But I have such a funny story that goes along with this. I mean, funny to me. But anyways, first of all, yes, my skin does tend to be very soft. Thank you for noticing all the way through the screen. Appreciate it. And back in the day, oh my gosh, when? Like mid-2000s? 2004, 2005, 2006, somewhere in there. I still worked at a hospital, and one of our nursing secretaries had a grown daughter. Our secretary was an older lady named Joni, and she had a daughter named Mel. And somehow I had met Melanie somewhere, somehow, and she like shook my hand, and she like melted. She was just like, oh my God, you have the softest skin I've ever felt in my life. Can I just feel your skin for a minute? And I'm like, sure. So she just was like, oh my God, it's so soft, it's so soft. So fast forward a couple of years, and I had not seen her again since then, but another one of our secretaries her husband had died. And so I was at the funeral, I was at the wake for her husband, and I mean, he was a popular guy. There was a sea of people there. And I mean, I'm not going to venture a guess, but if I had to venture a guess, I would say 100 plus, maybe even more than that. This place was packed with people. I walk in and I'm just kind of scanning the crowd, you know, social anxiety, I don't want to be here, and scanning the crowd, and like all the way across this crowd, like across the sea of people, I see two eyeballs laser beam focus in on me, like, poof. And it was her daughter Mel, and I just see her start bobbing and weaving through the crowd. She's making a beeline for me, and I'm like, I think that's that lady. I think it's Joni's daughter. I think that's who that is. And she came up and she didn't say hello, nothing. She just grabbed my hand and she's like, oh my God, it's the soft skin lady. And she still hadn't even said hello. And I'm just standing there in this sea of people like this and my hand out. And she's just like, oh my God, it hasn't changed. It's still just as soft. And then she's like, oh, hi, how are you? It's good to see you. Do you mind if I touch your skin? Is what it is. So the answer to your question, thank you. And yes, my skin does tend to be very soft. But if you ever see me out in public, feel free to say hello. But please don't just grab on me. Okay? Okay. Marianne wants to know, hello. Hope you're good today. Just want to know if it's possible to use your pendulum only through mental telepathy. Yeah. If by that, do you mean, do you have to speak your questions out loud, or can you just talk to your guides through your mind? You can talk to your guides through your mind. I mean, you can also cause your pendulum to move through mental telepathy. Hang on just a sec. Okay. I want to try to make this, I'm going to think the word yes in my mind, and I'm going to try to make this pendulum move, okay? I'm not connecting to my guides or do anything. I'm just going to see if I can make it move. You can see it's starting to move. You can make it move on your own, but that is why it's important to, when you're having a reading or when you're connecting to your guides, kind of free your mind. You know, don't be tied to a certain answer. Don't be going, please say yes, please say yes, please say yes, or please say no, because you can affect the movement. Just kind of release all expectation, practice detachment, and just see what comes through. But with that being said, I also get a lot of questions in the comments about, I think I'm moving my pendulum because I hear the answer. Like, I'll think the answer and then the pendulum will move that way. And I always respond with this. You may just be experiencing clairaudience because, as I've said in other videos, it is not uncommon to hear what your guides have to say and then see it spell out on the pendulum, because energy is quicker than this physical movement. So you might be picking up on their answer and then seeing it actually spell out on here, but that doesn't mean that you came up with the answer. They are still coming up with the answer. You're just hearing it before they have a chance to spell it out. Okay? But I think that this question is actually asking, am I able to communicate to my guide telepathically versus have to say it out loud? And the answer to that is yes. Okay. Jackie Joyce wants to know, what are some reasons why your spirit guides would leave you? I've never been alone my entire life, but mine have been gone a little over a year now. I feel almost abandoned. No info comes through. Well, girl, sometimes that happens. Not that they leave, but that you feel that way. And it stinks when that happens. It doesn't happen often, but... So, one, y'all know what I'm going to say. Your vibes just might be way too low, and you're not perceiving the information, or you're not, your walkie-talkie's out of range, or your battery's dead. So you focus on raising your vibrations. The other time I've had this happen was when they wanted me to develop other ways of communicating with them. I talk about this in one of my other pendulum videos, and I will link to that below. But I talk about how I was cut off from my guides through my pendulum for like 3 years. And it was because I think they wanted me to develop my other clairs and learn how to not use the pendulum as a crutch. Another time that this happened to me, it wasn't for very long, but maybe a couple weeks or a couple months, I don't remember. I talk about that in one of my alien videos, and that was because they kind of went radio silent in order to keep me off the radar and kind of protect me a little bit. So I'll link to that below as well. But here's the bottom line. Your guides will never leave you. They don't ever leave you. Some of them may be done, their contract may be done and they might leave, but your main guide or guides will never leave you. They are here from birth until death, and they are always with you. Okay? You are never without them. You are never alone. You are never without support. Your angels will never leave you. The rest of your guides, the rest of your team, some of them may be here for life. Others may come and go. If you develop a sudden fascination with cooking and you decide to start taking cooking classes, you may have a guide who is a chef come on to help you, to help inspire you, to help give you direction, to help you with that. If you have a sudden illness or something come on, you may have a guide who is more of a healer guide or a medical guide come on. When the problem's done, they go. For example, I took like 4 years of French in high school, and I can barely still put a sentence together. Every year I say, this is the year I'm going to become proficient in French again. I'm going to become fluent this year. This is the year. And some years I actually take it serious, and I will download Duolingo or something, and I will be studying every single day. I'll be doing really well. During those times, Marie Antoinette actually is one of my spirit guides, and she helps me to learn French. And because, she had to learn French at one time too. But anyways, when I get lazy about it and I stop studying the French, it's not that she goes away, like she's out of my life, never to be spoken to again, but I just felt her show up. Hi. Bonjour. And when I get lazy and I stop studying, she takes a back seat, and I can see her in my mind's eye. I'll get a vision of her like just sitting at the table, sipping some tea, like waiting patiently, sipping tea. So she's here when there's a need. She goes off and does her own thing and like leaves me to my own thing when there's no need. I hope that answered your question. I think my candle's just about burned out back there. It pooped out on me. And I don't know what this means. I'm going to have to Google it, but I have had a ladybug. The other night I had a ladybug fly into my living room. And I've had a ladybug who has landed on my window probably a dozen times today. She just likes it. But I don't know what that means. I mean, is there a symbol or a meaning behind a ladybug, like a totem? I mean, I know I always called my girls my little ladybugs. I didn't call my grandbabies my ladybugs, but I don't know. We'll have to Google what ladybugs mean. Anyways, I digress. Next, I'm not sure how you pronounce this. I'm not sure if it's Caitlin or Katie Lynn. But she is asking, I'm a beginner. Can you recommend a video or explain how do you know the whole sentences that your guides are saying? Do you hear it? Do you feel it? How do you know what they're saying? I thought pendulums are only used for yes or no. So the answer is all of it. I mean, the basic answer is that sometimes I can hear, sometimes I can feel, sometimes I get visions. But most of the time when I'm talking like full sentences, that's because they spelled it out with the pendulum. And I have an entire playlist, a whole series on my channel dedicated to pendulum use and all the videos I've done on using the pendulum. My most popular one by far is my first one on how to use a pendulum to communicate with your spirit guides. I think it's called, and I will link to that below. In that video, I talk about how you can use a letterboard to have your guides spell out their answers, and it does take quite a while, but that's okay. You know, where there's a will, there's a way. And you can go to my website and you can download letterboards that I created for free if you want them. You can either print them out and use them, or you know, those are kind of big. You can like shrink them down. I find it easier to use them when they're printed smaller. So if you do print them, you may want to print them smaller. You can also save it to your phone as a picture and just pull it up and use it on there also. But I will link to that video below. Okay, so this next one is from Mia Dahmer. She says, very great video. By the way, I have a question. Can spirit guides keep you single or isolated from other humans for one reason or another? Girl, if you're experiencing that, it's probably a trickster. Step away. Dismiss them. The answer is, can they? I think it needs a bigger answer than that. Okay, so you have free will, and your guides are never allowed to force you to do anything because of your free will. They are here to direct you and encourage you. They're here to inspire you. They're here to help you stay on the path that you set out for yourself before you came here to Earth. You created a life contract. You said, these are the things I want to do. These are the people I want to do them with. These are the lessons I want to learn, etc. It's their job to help you kind of stay on the path. Now, with that being said, you do have free will. You can veer off the path, but for the most part, I think people tend to stick to the path for the most part. Now, can they force you to stay away from somebody? No. It's just like, and I don't know that I would do this, but I can imagine this being a scenario. Bear with me. It's like if you have a kid, you have a child who's like, they keep climbing on this bike that there's too small to ride or something like that. And you're like, you need to stay off there. You're going to get hurt. You can't reach the ground. You're going to fall. And so you pull them off and they keep climbing back on and you pull them off. And one time when you're not looking, they climb on and you hear crash and they like skin their knees and they're crying and you're like, that's what you get. You were warned. We tried to keep you away from something that's not good for you, but you know what? You want it up there so bad. I can't help it. You kind of got what you deserved. Now, your guides are never, ever, ever, ever malicious. Ever. However, if you are hell-bent on doing something that is not in your best interest, and they've tried diverting you, they've tried encouraging you to do other things, they've tried like throwing a little stumbling block in your path, and you are just determined to do whatever this thing is or to see whatever this person is, I mean, you have free will. You're going to do it, and then you might get hurt, and then they're going to be like, we're here to love you through it. That was your choice. So, can they keep you from someone? No. But can they gently redirect you? Yeah. Can they try to, like, if you want to go someplace, but they know you're going to get in a car accident on the way, so they might, like, give you a headache, or they might make you feel nauseous. They might try to do something to keep you from leaving. They might make your keys go missing. They might make your car not start. But if you're determined enough, you're going to find a way. You call an Uber. You'll call somebody to help fix your car. I mean, where there's a will, there's a way. and if you want to go, you're going to go, and then you get in a car accident. They tried, but where you really want to do something, they cannot stop you. Okay, so this next one kind of goes with the last one, so I will cover this as well. I don't have the entire thing, but I remember that they said they went to a psychic, and the psychic told them that they should leave their girlfriend. They should break up with their girlfriend because they're not meant to be together, and she's not the one for him, and so the psychic is recommending that he leave his girlfriend. And he's like, is this legit? And I'm like, no. So, red flag, if anybody who claims to be a psychic, a medium, etc., tells you to leave somebody or to break up with somebody or whatever, question that. Because of everything we just talked about in the last question, you have free will. So, can someone say, I see you going a different direction, or maybe they're not the best interest for you? Or if you ask your guides, is this person and this relationship in my best interest? They may say no. Or if you say, is this person my forever partner? They may say no. But your guides are never, which essentially a psychic is saying she's talking to your guide. So that's how she's getting the info. Your guides are never going to come through and say, tell them they need to leave that girl. Okay? That's a red flag. Question that. So the last one that I have, I also don't have the full comment, but I wrote down that this person was meditating and they began feeling like warm energy and tingles up by their crown chakra and third eye and whatnot. They wanted to know what to make of this, and is this normal? Well, it can be very, very normal if you're clairsentient. So to me, that's what that says, is that you are clairsentient and that you're feeling the energy of your guides working. Ladybug's back. You're feeling the energy of your guides working on you. You're feeling the light work that's being done to you. So let me rephrase this. I feel like I was distracted by the ladybug and I got it all twisted up. Let me start over. What I believe you are feeling is, 1, you're feeling your guide's energy. 2, you are feeling the energy of the light work that's being done on you. And 3, it sounds like you're feeling your crown chakra and third eye being opened. They're being worked on and they're being opened. So I have a couple of videos on being clairsentient and how to work with it, ways to practice it and whatnot, that may help anybody who's developing these gifts. I'll link to those below. But being clairsentient, especially in the beginning, it's a journey to learn how to It's a journey, and it can be difficult to learn how to differentiate between the energy of an entity, the energy of yourself and your chakras, the energy of not necessarily the entity, but of the work that they're doing on you. And then the energy of like them sending messages. Like, for example, if I'm talking to somebody and in my mind, I ask Spomi, my main guide, I'm like, is this person trustworthy? I'm either going to get my solar plexus chakra light up, which means no, or my third eye is going to glow, and that means yes. Like they're telling the truth or they're not telling the truth. They're trustworthy or they're not trustworthy. And so that isn't necessarily Spomi's energy, and he's not necessarily doing work on me, but I'm still picking up energy from him. I'm getting energy. Does that make sense? So, I've been dealing with this for years and years, and it's still a learning process for me too. So there's always something else to learn. And if you ever meet anybody who says that there's nothing else left to learn and that they are proficient and a master at everything, question them. That's a red flag. But in short, the answer to your question is I believe that yes, for you, that's probably going to be normal when you're meditating, that you're feeling the energy of your guides, the work, and your chakras. But that's cool that your third eye and your crown's opening, so that's a good thing. All right, you guys, I hope you found this interesting. And if you have any comments that you want to leave me, that you want me to address, leave them below and let me know your thoughts. If you haven't already, hit subscribe because this helps us so much and every little bit helps. We're almost at 20,000. That's such, wow, I can't believe it. You know, my goal, if you go back and look at my New Year's resolution video, my goal for this year was to hit 10,000. And we hit 10,000 in February. And now it's October and we're hitting 20,000. That's so exciting. And let's change this world. Let's do it. Let's do that. Let's change the world for the better. Let's fill it with love. All right. Have a great week.